when you allow nature to take its course, which really means just letting God have its way, and if you stay connected and you allow God to give you guidance on the relationships that you develop, then that means you're letting God's truth and His Spirit identify the nature of the relationships that you enter, right? Sometimes we can jump the gun. Sometimes we can think that people are put in our lives to be in a romantic situation, or put in our lives to be friends that are going to be friends with us for a lifetime. And that's not necessarily the truth. So if we do understand that nature is going to take its course no matter what, and you can probably reflect in your own life, or maybe think of people in your family or friends who you've seen them kind of go through cycles and situations, and you might have even seen them miss opportunities to learn certain lessons, and then you see it come back around again, right? Because it's nature is going to take its course. It's like you think that maybe whatever you present with your own logical mind, or you feeling like you have more control than you do, or if you feel like you can micromanage something, that it's going to make it have a certain result. And it's just really not necessarily true. So, but if you are in a situation where you feel like you can identify where you're still feeling like you're in fulfillment, or maybe you can't even identify that, but you are feeling unhappy. If you take what I'm saying and say, okay, well, I understand that nature is going to take its course and I'm going to allow that. It doesn't mean that you don't ask questions as why you're feeling unhappy. You can ask those questions. In fact, I think you should. It should lead for an opportunity, right, to have inward kind of conversations with yourself, and maybe even outward conversations with people who you feel like can offer you sage advice that's backed and fueled by the Spirit of God and truth, to be able to kind of connect the dots for you, and maybe kind of guide you into maybe things that you can do, or areas that you can reflect on, or maybe change an angle or perspective that you're looking at. But the idea is that it should open up room for, not for you to be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna sit back and do nothing. No, though it's really a lot of work, because we don't always like to do that. We don't always like to do that. We feel better when we think that we have a control of something. You can have understanding without it kind of feeling like you have to control something.